Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the 1-year anniversary of the channel. Yeah, it was February 12th, 2020 that the first video was uploaded to NoDak Express Gaming. That video, a quick look at a game called Mr. Fast, is quite a bit different in terms of editing and style of the videos that we have on the channel these days. Check it out sometime if you want to kind of see how the process has evolved. It was still a lot of fun to make, to be honest with you, but it was the channel at that point was focused on affordable gaming and games featuring kind of cyberpunk settings and themes. So a little bit different. Today we're going to be answering some of your questions. I've been taking questions on the Discord and over on some social media. I've also been paying attention to the questions in the comments. I'm going to be answering those while doing a fairly standard flight here in a Huey. And of course, by fairly standard, I'm in an unarmed Huey, just flying out to an island here, but there are 4 enemy aircraft whose sole goal is to shoot me down with their cannons. And it's not just a single pass sort of thing. They will loiter and continue to try and shoot me down until I am either shot down or they run out of fuel or ammunition. My goal is to get up here to this island where I have plenty of surface-to-air missiles and that sort of thing. And I do have 2 ships en route that are, gonna help. I have been, you'll notice we've been using the kind of auto start feature in the background here for me to give you just to kind of chat. And it is time to get going. By the way, if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell others about the channel. It really does help, and I sincerely appreciate it. By the way, I won't get into the demographics of the channel exactly, but suffice it to say that about the same number of people who are age 50 and older watch the channel as people who are 17 and younger. So, if you happen to be in high school or college or something and watching the channel, there's a decent chance that your parents might enjoy the channel if they just happen to be into aerospace or dogs or just general shenanigans. Okay. Headed towards the cover of our, well, not really cover, but the assistance of our first ship here. And we will dive into the questions. Origins of the name. So, NoDak Express. NoDak is a reference to the United States state of North Dakota. And if I recall correctly, the NoDak Express was supposed to be a train that was going to connect kind of all the city centers, kind of populated areas in and around North Dakota in the late 1800s or early 1900s. I don't believe that it was ever developed. Nothing really came of it that I'm aware of. But that was where the name came from. It was a train that I learned about at some point while I was up in North Dakota. I did live in North Dakota. I absolutely loved it up there. And I'd rather be cold than hot any day, so North Dakota is my kind of jam. Okay, the MiGs are getting closer, but they're not still right on me. We're going to try and keep it nice and close to these ships so we can take full advantage of the cannons that they have. And if the ships happen to shoot 1 or 2 of them down, then great. But I will say that these, the enemy pilots are no slouches here. So there's a decent chance they managed to avoid some of the fire anyway. Okay. Up next, make more and longer videos. So some perspective for you. At the end of November of 2020, the channel had fewer than 1,000 subscribers. The other 60+ thousand of you discovered the channel over the last 4 months, almost entirely through the shorts. And, that's great. I very much value that shorts kind of beta test that they've been doing. So the point there is that there actually are quite a few longer videos over on the channel. At this point, I make 1 long video each week with 3 or 4 shorts kind of mixed in the middle. I'm going to continue to do that probably through at least 100,000 subscribers so that I can get a little bit of a feeling for whether all of this is going to be feasible to do full-time. More on that in the future. Next question, is the dog yours? Yeah, both the Blue Heeler and the German Shepherd over on the Full Throttle series are our real dogs. They're not just random PNGs off the internet. An additional kind of related question is, how old are the dogs? They're both adopted, so we don't have the exact information, but they're young enough to be belligerent and old enough to know that they shouldn't. So they've definitely got some gray coming in around their snout and that sort of thing. But so they're not puppies by any means. But exact ages, I'm just not sure. Next question, what are your PC specifications? I post that in the video description of each video, so check that out and you'll get all the information. I also have the joystick that I use in there. It's just a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. I don't use a fancy HOTAS with rudder pedals or a yoke or anything like that. Next question, favorite aircraft ever? I really have to break that up into kind of era. So from World War II, probably the C-47 Skytrain. My grandfather flew those during World War II, and it's always had a kind of a close place in my heart. You may know it as the Douglas Dakota, just depending on which side of the pond you're from. This is one of our support ships here. It's a World War II era landing ship tank, I believe. It's only got cannons on it, no missiles. And we've got one other of these ships that's going to be giving us some support as we fly. Give them heck, boys. Okay, so that's World War II. From the Vietnam era, I'd have to say the A6 Intruder, which, exciting. Digital Combat Simulator World, this game that I'm playing right now, announced that they would be having a... oh boy, MiG-31 is feet wet. They would be having or they would be adding an A6 Intruder sometime this year, so I'm excited about that. By the way, if you've ever seen the movie Flight of the Intruder, there's a great line in there as some bomber pilots are talking to fighter pilots at a bar, and it's something to the effect of, fighter pukes make movies, bomber pilots make history, and that sort of just mindset or mantra, I guess, has kind of stuck with me through my aviation career. More recently, the A-10 Thunderbolt II is undoubtedly one of my favorite planes. On the civilian side of things, and as it relates to the A-10, be sure to check out my full throttle review of it if you haven't yet. It's a lot of fun. Or my carrier testing of the A-10 Walrus. Ooh, kind of dropped frame there, sorry about that. On the civilian side of things, probably the Cessna 150K Aerobat. It's a two-seater. It's real small. It's very cramped if you're over 5'8". I happen to be 6'5" myself, so it's like folding myself into a clown car. But it's just a real nice little kind of aerobatic-ish Cessna, and it's got a really nice checkerboard pattern that's kind of the signature of the brand. In terms of helicopters, the Bell 412 is my favorite. I've flown one in real life, and I absolutely love it. All right. That MiG is directly over the ship. It's behind me and hard charging here. Shoot it down! But yeah, that's that. So the favorite helicopter was the Bell 412. I've flown one in real life, absolutely love it. Twin engine Huey, for all intents and purposes. You know, when you're talking about evasion in a cannon battle here, you've got a few different options. Close the gap faster, so kind of fly head-on with the MiG, so they'll have less time to adjust their fire. Get as low as you can, so they have to come in at a very steep angle to attack. Sounds like he passed me. Oh gosh. Oh, that's the flak from the ship. Good. Good. Okay, had lots of questions about air traffic control war stories or kind of lessons learned or that sort of thing. I'm going to do that sort of content and discussion with some other content creators in the future. I'm an experienced pilot, but you can find much more accomplished pilots here on YouTube. The unique perspective that I really bring to the conversation is that of an air traffic controller. Dropped frames, my goodness. just tough to look at. So we'll talk more about that in the future. Least safe thing about air transportation these days was a question that came up a couple times. It's really the inexperience. Oh gosh. Okay, MiG-29 passed me, ish. MiG-29s in this game are ridiculous. It is a heck of an airframe. It's the inexperience. You've got Vietnam-era veteran pilots who are retiring. You've got air traffic controllers who are some of the waves of the Reagan replacements. Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers in 1981. And so you've got those controllers who are or already have retired. And so you've just got inexperienced people replacing experienced ones in tremendously important roles. And that's always concerning. Boy, they are coming in on us, particularly when we think about like the integration of drones and UAVs into our air traffic system and whatnot. It's just... It's just tough. Okay, looks like I'm about within range of the other ship. Should be right in front of me. What did I fly, or what do I fly? I flew light twin-engine... Oh, gosh. I flew light twin-engine aircraft, mostly cargo, so like King Airs. And then I flew light and utility helicopters. I've got some of the like specific models and whatnot listed over on the Discord. Check those out if you're curious for the exact details. I never flew anything overly interesting. I didn't fly commercial jets or even private jets for that matter. And pretty much everything that I flew was either like cargo or search and rescue. Goodness gracious. I look away for 2 seconds. That's my friendly ship right in front of me there. He's helping. Helping with some AAA. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so we got that. Quick shout out, happy birthday to Fleet Admiral T. Solar. Thank you for letting me know in the Discord, in the AMA section. Okay, looks like we got a few seconds here of just straight on flying. Try not to crash into the water. Let's see here. Why air traffic control? Well, I got into air traffic control because I had exposure to it through Aviation. And there was just an aptitude test back when I did it. I think that's kind of still the case. Just out of curiosity one time, I took the aptitude test and did pretty well. And I got a placement to a big facility almost immediately. So that was just kind of how it worked out for me. I didn't grow up wanting to be an air traffic controller or anything like that. I will say I used to be like decidedly good at video games. At this point, I am most definitely average at best. But you know, air traffic control and being able to look at a screen and see and process three-dimensional information while only having it presented to you in 2 dimensions is a really important part of air traffic control. So if you do like games and you just maybe don't want to be a pilot, or you have a medical condition or something you can't fly, you may still be able to qualify as an air traffic controller, just FYI. Let's see here, what's next? Pineapple on pizza. Well, I don't want to lose too many subscribers here, but you know, I gotta be honest. I'm okay with pineapple on pizza. It's not something that I would order of my own accord, but it's not a deal breaker for me by any means. Another question was pepperoni pizza or pineapple pizza. I would definitely choose pepperoni if given the option. Well, I think I can see the island off there at like 1 o'clock. Let's see here. How did I get into aviation? My grandfather... Oh no! Somebody got us. Who was it? MiG-29. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? By golly. Okay. We'll knock out a few more of these questions here. How did I get into aviation? My grandfather flew C-47s in World War II, and then he also owned a small plane when I was growing up, so I just kind of grew up around it. He also taught me how to build scale models and that sort of thing, so I always just loved that sort of thing. It's just MiG-31 at these days. I gotta say, my ships did not help me out a whole lot. I didn't see a single hit from the ships on any of these aircraft. That's alright. Will there be community gaming events in the future? Yeah, definitely. Right now, like I said, I do all this part-time, and so kind of whenever I have time to record videos or whatnot is when I do it. I'd like to do some more structured things in the future, but more to come on that. You know, connect with us on Discord or follow me on social media for updates. Do I play games other than aviation games? Yeah, undoubtedly. I really do enjoy... I've been enjoying Insurgency Sandstorm recently, kind of a mil-sim-esque sort of thing. Shooter, basically, and that's a lot of fun. Let's see here. Another question was... how about an aerobatic show someday? Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, particularly with some other content creators. Added that to my to-do list. That should be a lot of fun. It's just tricky with something like Flight Simulator because you never know when your aircraft's just going to break for no reason. Up next, how was your day? It's good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Doing good. A little bit bummed that I either got shot down or broke off my tail, whatever happened with that, but that's okay. We'll definitely be addressing this flight again in the future. How about a video about the dogs or a face reveal? Well, a video about the dogs, yeah, I'll probably do something like that in the future. They're not exactly helpful in taking videos of them, but we'll probably be able to figure something out. I have no plans on doing... So in a face reveal, I have no plans on doing anything like that. So just embrace the voice and just envision it coming from the dog or whatever you want to envision that I look like. That's fine with me. Cats or dogs? As if I actually need to answer that question with words. How about in real life aviation videos? I don't own a plane and I don't fly full time at this point, so probably not going to be happening for me. Coke or Pepsi? Definitely Coke, and then my favorite booze would have to be just Busch Light. I don't, I don't drink a whole lot, but when I do, I don't want to feel like a mess the next day or anything like that, so just Busch Light for me. Another question that came up over on the Discord was, what will it take to do this full time? Is it a number of subscribers or what? Ultimately that just comes down to finances. I've got a family, I've got bills to pay, so if making videos on YouTube and streaming on Twitch can pay the bills eventually, then yeah, I'd love to do this full time. If you'd like to see that, consider supporting on Patreon or Twitch. However, do not financially inconvenience yourself. I'm going to keep making the videos irrespective of financial support, so please don't hurt your own situation, my goodness. It's just a question of how frequently I'm going to be able to make the content. Will it be a kind of a part-time thing in my free time, or will I eventually be able to make maybe 2 or 3 long videos a week with regular streams kind of interspersed? Who knows? Either way, it's an exciting time. I think one of them might have gotten shot down or crashed. I'm not sure. I must have missed the notification. Looks like there's only three enemies still remaining here. Do be sure to check out the longer videos on the channel. I always appreciate that. Connect with us on Discord and social media, that sort of thing. I really appreciate it. And know that I really appreciate the positivity in the comments and whatnot. I mean, for every one toxic commenter, there are hundreds or thousands of very positive commenters that I just really appreciate. Either way, let me know if you have any additional questions, and be sure to continue submitting AMA questions over in the Discord. I'm going to just kind of keep a running list going for, the next momentous event. I don't know, maybe 100,000 subscribers or something like that I'll do kind of a similar video or something. We'll see. Either way, the first year on the channel has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well, and I'm looking forward to the future. Thanks for watching.